I mean, I know it's Ooishi and Kumagai, the yellow detective, but I don't know which one is speaking. I'm getting hungry. Want to grab something on the way? Just assume it's Ooishi talking first. That's right. It's almost 8 p.m. We had a late lunch today, so I didn't realize. We can go get something after we finish hearing our story. Oh wait, no, it's probably the other way around, actually. Because Ooishi is the one more interested in hearing our story. You sent 4 officers there. They're probably worn out by now. Hopefully Friday's-san ordered them something to eat. Ooishi and Kumagai had passed through Oknima and were getting closer and closer to Mizawa. They hurried on their way, driving through the dark streets. I wonder what Rika Friday wants to talk to you about. Probably something outrageous. That village, used to be called Onagafuchi Village. They took the name Onagafuchi, demons abyss from the local swamp. Like an abyss, it's hard to know its depth, huh? What are you planning to do about her protection? Depending on what she tells us, we might have to move it to a safer location. A little bit of bizarre is like a lion's den. You never know what could happen in that village. But now we just need to hear what she has to say. The Ferretti family's in danger, and the successor of the Sonzai family's trying to protect her. Who would even be capable of killing Rika Ferretti under those circumstances? The only people I can think of are the Kiyoshi family. I've never heard of them getting up to anything fishy. I guess there must be a fanatical religious sect lurking in the village. I wonder what secret lies at the bottom of that swamp. The road they were on was cutting through the rice fields, leading him to pass by the scene of Jiro Tomotake's murder. Look, no left Tomatake there, I'm sure of that. But I wonder what he actually died of. Forensics didn't find any drugs in his system, did they? Wait, now I'm unsure who's talking again. They didn't find anything, but that doesn't prove... that was probably Kumagai. And now this is Luigi. They didn't find anything, but that doesn't prove it either way. There are hundreds of strange chemicals in this world. There's no proof that a drug wasn't used. Must have been one that we were not aware of. I'm sure of that. There must be some kind of drug out there that can make someone claw out their throat and die. I'm going to grill the culprit about it once I make that arrest. The rest. Of course, it would be easier if that's what Rika Friday is going to tell me. Kumagai, you must have learned exactly what false starts on me. Seeing what happened to Gifu today. That was horrible. If that guy was at our station, I'd never forgive him. If that had refused to admit he made a mistake, the Uber Police Department as a whole is still convinced that the body belongs to Mio Takano. But we'll operate on the assumption that she lives. The top of the department will make the final decision. It's obvious that they made a simple mistake. They're just desperately covering it up because they're having trouble if they admit it. They really need to rethink their attitude. You know, that kind of shit actually happens, I can't remember what case it was, but some guy who was in prison for years and then was finally proved to be innocent and had nothing to do with whatever they were, in prison for. And the person who, pretty much made all this false shit and, put this shit so that the guy got, falsely accused and locked up. When asked, just do you regret anything? And it's no. It's just what the fuck, you asshole? The car suddenly shook. The concrete road had ended, leaving only gravel. At the point where the gravel road begins, you're officially in Mizawa. They continued to drive through the woods for a while. Kuma-chan, stop the car. What? Ooishi had told him to stop immediately. Kumagai quickly slammed on the brakes. Their seatbelts tightened up, keeping them in their seats. What's wrong? That car over there. I wonder what it's doing. Ooishi tapped on the rearview mirror. There was a van parked just off the road. Ooh, you know what? This all making sense now, isn't it? Remember in the previous answer arc, was it Simura Horoboshi? The one where Rena was suspicious of a van? That's gotta be the Mountain Dogs. They've been a part of the series all along. It's just we haven't seen them. They've just been in the background. And I bet that van is probably what they use to kidnap the people that are suffering with the Hinmizawa syndrome. It's gotta be. Rather beat up, it looked like it was used for a private company. There was no reason for someone to park their car here, especially at this time of night. Kumagai also thought it looked suspicious. The car seemed empty, but there was a light flashing in the woods nearby. Probably a flashlight. Strange that a van is even out at this hour. I'm surprised you even saw it. It's like I keep telling you. Detective always has to pay attention to his surroundings. I wonder what he's doing there. Is he dumping something illegally? Is he dumping someone's body? Maybe it's a pair of lovebirds on a secret date. Well, that can't be it, judging by the van. Hello, document security. Do you read me? Good evening and good night. Document security, reading you loud and clear. Are your license number scanned? Blah, 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 blah. That's blah, 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 blah. It might take a while. We'll wait. Right, son. According to this map, there's a facility of the Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation here. What in the world is the facility of the NTT? It was listed as a facility, but it wasn't staffed. It was just a place where machines were installed. Kumagai wasn't sure how telephone lines actually work, but either way, it seemed like some kind of connection device was located there. Connecting device. But that's just an ordinary van. It doesn't look like it belongs to the NTT. If it is, shouldn't their name should be on the van? I don't know who's talking now. Maybe some other company is contracted to do it. Anyway, we should just go and ask. Wish I wasn't sure if that was the case. After all, why would any phone company go to do maintenance so late at night? Let's go and check what's going on. His son's waiting for us, so we need to be fast. Yes, sir. His well-honed detective instinct was trying to tell him something. This feeling wasn't one that Ooishi could easily explain. He had a strong sense that something was suspicious without any real reasoning behind it. Ooishi trusted that he could judge all his characters with that sense. Nightingale 2 to Nightingale 1. Vehicle is stopped nearby. 2 people get out. They're probably police officers. They're approaching and will make contact in less than a minute. It was a pitch black, yet they could see the 2 newcomers clearly. They were probably using a night vision scope. Roger. Attention all units. Nightingale 2 through 5. Wait for the green lights. Nightingale 7 and 8. Make sure the surrounding 100 meters are clear. Roger. Nightingale 4 and 5. Do you copy? Nightingale 4, Roger. Nightingale 5, Roger. Nightingale 7, Roger. Nightingale 8, Roger. They got a lot of them out there, man. It's Nightingale from HQ. Nightingale from HQ. There's been some trouble during the modification of the phone facility. There are 2 police detectives. We request clearance to open fire. Oh shit. Roger, wait for the order. By the time Ooishi and Kumagai reached the phone facility, they were being watched from all directions. There were 2 pairs of binoculars and 2 sniper rifles pointing at them. The Mountain Dog operatives worked in 2-man units, a sniper and spotter, to secure the means of retreat. They had all taken different positions so that they could shoot Ooishi no matter where he tried to run. They were all in camouflage suits hiding deep in the woods. Ooishi, of course, had no chance of spotting them. The snipers had their rifles trained on the detectives' heads. Ooishi and Kumagai had no idea that they were on the verge of losing their very lives. So if they had kept on driving, would they have even bothered? The snipers' rifles had their safeties on, but a flick of their thumbs would release them. In other words, they were ready to shoot if given the order. The detectives found the fenced-in machinery right behind the parked van. There was a sign there saying that it was the property of the Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Corporation, and another sign warning people to keep away. Hello, good evening. Sorry, but could you step back? We're in the middle of a maintenance operation. There were 4 men working there wearing blue overalls. They had a toolbox open and were working on some wires. Sorry to interrupt. We're from the police. We were wondering what you guys were doing, since it's pretty strange to see a van parked out here. Good evening, officers. We're almost finished here. Who are you guys? You're not from NTZ, are you? Oh, we're not, no. We're from Oganagi Electrics. Sorry, I'm out of business cards. Man, they're just Oganagi, you got such an ego, man. All these fake companies and with your name on them. Oganagi Electrics, where's your office located? Well, it's in Okinawa. Could you give me the phone number and address of your office? Why do you want to know? You forgot the telephone number. She looked at them with a piercing glare. You know, this would be like a badass moment for Ooishi if not for the fact that snipers are on his ass. Well, his head. Their response was very suspicious. Usually the vehicle of an electric company is full of various types of electrical equipment and repair tools. However, the van parked there had nothing inside and it looked like just an ordinary car. Also, a company vehicle usually has the name of the company painted on it. But this one was just a plain van with no markings on it. None of that was the reason that Ooishi found them suspicious, though. It was their attitude that bothered him. They didn't sound nor look like typical contractors. They were obviously not electricians. It was far too late in the day and there were far too many of them. They were also clearly suspicious of Ooishi. However, that was all he could tell just by looking around. He found them suspicious, but had no idea what they were up to. One of the men told Ooishi the phone number. Kumagai wrote down the number so he could ask the station to call and confirm it was real. We're not doing anything suspicious. You guys are very suspicious. Who are you? You're really a contractor, you should have proof of that. But you don't have anything. Besides, everything about you seems off. Officer, please don't cause us any trouble. Just leave us alone. We need to finish up our job here. Judging from their progress, it didn't look like they'd be clearing up anytime soon. In fact, it almost seemed like they were just getting started. It's pretty obvious that you're lying, son. You should have studied roll a little better if you wanted to pretend to be an electrician. They should raise his voice threateningly. The members of the Mountain Dogs gradually started to look more and more annoyed. I mean, they probably don't give a shit either way, because, you know, if worse comes to worse, they just have the snipers on him. Ooishi looked over their expressions and gave them a big wide grin. However, Ooishi had no idea. He thought he could handle these suspicious people with no issues. Of course, in reality, they were horrific demons that he had no chance against. Meanwhile, Kumagai was heading back to the car. He was intending to contact the police department. He was going to call the station using the radio. Then in turn, the police department would contact the NTT. That way, it would become clear who they were really dealing with. HQ to 9 Gale 1. You have permission to fire. Oh shit. 9 Gale 7 clear. 9 Gale 8 clear. The sniper was still aiming at Kumagai's head as he headed back towards their car. The safety of the glass line protecting Kumagai's life was disengaged. The sniper put his finger on the trigger. He was wearing a glove with the fingertips cut out. The finger poking through the hole was very rough and merciless. For as soon as he slightly moved that finger, he would take someone's life. 9 Gale 1 sniper team, all green. Kumagai heard a quiet noise. It was similar to the sound of the jump rope that he used to use as a whip when he was little. And that was the last thought Kumagai had in this world. Kumagai collapsed on the ground. That's the first time in the whole series he's died. That was it. He didn't even twitch. Ooishi was laying on his back on the concrete after getting shot in the chest. And even Ooishi, he's never died in the series, really. But now he has. His lungs were filled with blood, which began to pour out of his mouth. Ooishi only realized that he'd been shot when the world began to blur before his eyes. As his world keeled over, he saw a man in a work uniform leveling a gun at him, but it didn't matter anymore as he started drowning on his own blood. This is Okinawa Security. We scanned the license plate number. Detective Ooishi. Detective Ooishi, please come in. Huh? Did we lose a signal or something? Detective Ooishi, come in. You know, I mean, them killing Ooishi and Kumagai, sure it resolves one issue for them, but doesn't that just make the situation all the more suspicious for, the rest of the Occupant Police Department? He's not answering. Shan wanted a plate number scanned. Whose car is it? It's just a villager's car. No one special. Who is it? It must be someone suspicious if Ooishi-san is asking about them. It really seems like no one out of the ordinary. No accidents, no tickets. He probably got pissed off after that car passed him or something. Oh, and they're just gonna shrug it off because of that, aren't they? Fucking idiots. He can be a pretty stubborn guy sometimes. Freaking idiots. They could have, further investigated it, but no. This is Nightingale, both targets eliminated. Resume in the mission. Roger. Be sure to dispose of their vehicle. Major, Nightingale just terminated 2 officers to resume the mission. Sweet dreams, Ooishi-san. Too bad he was getting so close to catching me. Can I get a cup of coffee? You're a frickin' demonic bastard witch, Takano! And your frickin' shitty-ass silly costume. You think you're all that? You think you're all that hot shit? Well, fuck you. Absolutely, this is getting complicated. There are still several officers at Oz house and her friends are there as well. All must know that she's getting murdered tonight. Someone is leaking information. I think we should postpone the plan. We have to have her corpse by tomorrow. That's what most convenient for the people in charge. We have to execute this mission tonight. A crucial part of his final mission was the death of Rika and what came after that. They couldn't just kill her whenever they wanted. Doing it at the right time was vital. Maybe she's panicking at the dog's excessive security. No, it's not that information has been leaked. She's predicting it. She knew that Tomitaka was going to die, and she even knew how my body was going to be found. She's the queen. She's a genuine heir to the blood of Oyashiro-sama, her priestess, and the queen positioned at the top of Inmizawa's supernatural phenomena. It's impossible to hide things from God. Assassinating Rika Furuse won't be so easy. Alright, Rika-chan. Let's see which of us deserves to inherit the legend of Oyashiro-sama. Your death will be the final curse of Oyashiro-sama, and it will mark the finale of this legendary village. When that happens, my plan will become the real curse. What a horrible bastard. It's just like, hate. It was now past 8 p.m. What, 2 hours past now? Well, an hour and a half or so. Mion ordered some noodles for us, her treats. No sushi then. I also ordered some food for the 4 officers and we all ate together. And 4 officers is gonna do jack shit against these trained assassins, now is it? We were supposed to call it a night as soon as we talked to Ooishi, but he's still not here. However, we all took it easy, assuming that they'd get here sooner or later. Well, I hate to break it to you, but they got assassinated. It's getting late. Once you get to Hinamizawa, there aren't many places to get something to eat. I'm sure they're having a quick dinner before coming here. However, the 4 officers seem anxious. They all had families, but Ooishi didn't tell them how late they'd have to be out here. They're hoping that Ooishi will bring all officers to relieve them so they can go home. They called the station, but all they said was that Ooishi was on his way. And we should wait because he'll be here soon. Yeah, don't even mention that they couldn't get a hold of him, like... Freaking incompetence, man. And Ooishi sure is late. I'm sure he's stuck in traffic. It's still rush hour. Those officers have been here since this afternoon, right? They must be tired by now. I know. It sucks that they don't even know when they can go home. Should we patrol outside so they can get some rest? We can have Sudoku set up some traps to prevent strangers from coming in here. Oh, good thinking, Shion-san. However, just think, this is our house. We already have several traps set up around this place. Really? We should be careful when we're around here. With our stomachs full, the mood in the house had returned to a light-hearted one. True, we shouldn't be so relaxed, but knowing that Ooishi would be here shortly made us feel relieved. But he's not going to be. But he's so late. He said he'd be here in an hour. Mion mentioned he might have gotten stuck in traffic. But I'm sure Ooishi was considering that. That's why he told me it'd take him about an hour. And it had been 1 hour since the time Ooishi was supposed to get here. I want to believe that he's getting something to eat on the way, but I'm starting to get concerned. Ooishi still hasn't shown up. It's almost 11 o'clock. The officers are completely exhausted. They had even started to smoke cigarettes outside. My friends are becoming tired too. Stoko is yawning. It's way past our bedtime. Everyone else is getting tired and sleepy. We've been spending our time watching TV and reading manga. I can feel my fears succumbing to sleepiness. Today is almost over. I'm going to survive the day I'm supposed to die. Does that mean that I escape my daily fates? No. I have to fight endlessly from tomorrow on. I was going to discuss that with Ooishi. Since he's not here, I don't know what to do from this point on. What? The game crashed! What? That's a first. It didn't save though, so fuck. Oh, what a fail. I was just about to go on a little bit of a ramble. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Fuck, I can't even remember what I was gonna say now. I was gonna say something, but the game crashing kind of caught me by surprise there. Well, fuck. I guess I'll be right back. Or maybe, yeah. I guess I'll be right back, because I'll have to do 2 recordings here then. Because, well, it's been like 51 minutes, so that's like at least 2 recordings in here. I'd like to have the part end, the record session end with me saving the damn freaking file. So, a moment. And we're back. But not really. Because now you gotta go through those scenes again. I wonder if there's like a skip through scenes option. Skip. Oh, that's not how it works. Auto? Or do I just hold it down? I'm pretty sure there was a way of doing this a lot faster. I mean, really, clicking skip is pretty much... Unless it's because it crashed, it doesn't register that we've seen the scene, so you can't skip it. So I guess I have to do this. Skippity, 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 skippity. God, it's just like it has a lag-like quality to it when doing this. This is really shitty. Spam the enter bar. I mean, it was quite a lengthy-ish scene, followed by another lengthy-ish scene. Do-do-do. You know, come on. Come on. Yeah, I might call it a record session though, when we get back to the point where we left off, because my hand is hurting from holding this bloody microphone. And, you know, it crashing, you know, it's best to make a save file, and if we're gonna make a save file, that's at the end of a record session. And it also seems a lot more likely, you know, with Ooishi and Kumagai getting killed off, you know, sniped, it's very much reaching the finale. Like, shit's going down now, you know, in the story here. And Takano is a witch. A horrible, horrible witch. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, sensitive about, you know, you can't call a woman a bitch, but I think Takano is rightly deserving of being called a bitch in this scenario. So she's a bitch witch. She's a very horrible, 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 horrible character. And this scene is going on forever. And I still haven't even got the word of the day. I don't suppose there would be a Japanese equivalent for the word failure, would it? I don't know. Maybe assassin, you know? I'm not even looking at a dictionary at the moment, obviously, because I'm holding the microphone with one hand, spamming the enter key with the other. Okay, now we're getting there. They're on the road to nowhere. And they're going to die on the road to nowhere. You know, it's just like with how well organized Takano and the Mountain Dogs are, it really it's the sense of bleakness in Rika's scenario. It really isn't. It's like, how the fuck are they going to overcome that shit right there? They're too well organized. Even though Ooishi got blindsided by them, he was rightly suspicious of them, but unfortunately he wasn't, you know, cautious enough. Didn't realize just how well organized they were. Good evening, everyone. Ooishi's going to get shot in the head. I mean, it really is the first time in the whole series that Ooishi has died. Pretty sure. He lives throughout all the other ones. Just because he doesn't, you know... He gets involved in the plot, obviously, all the time, but he doesn't live in Hinamizawa. So when shit hits the fan, he's usually, you know, back in Okinawa. There goes Kumagai. We haven't really, you know, got much character development from Kumagai, but we have got a little bit of character development from him. It's just that because he doesn't have a character portrait, he's kind of a bit lacking. Fuck you, Takano. With your stupid military get-up, you're trying to look like you're hard and shit. You're just giving orders, you wouldn't freaking stand a chance. Well, I don't even know what the fuck it is. Just like, it's because they're well organized. They got snipers, they got all the camo and all that. Takano's is just giving out the orders. It's around here somewhere, that's where the game crashed. Well, the novel, I should say. You know what, can you imagine that? Like, you're reading a physical book and it just crashes. Like, all the pages just become blurry all of a sudden, you can't turn the pages or anything. It's like, what the fuck happened to this book? Yeah, it's still rush hour, alright, yeah. Rush hour to the grave. He said he'd be here. Oh, yeah, but I'm not. Mentioned he might be on some traffic. I'm sure we should consider that. And he was supposed to get here. I believe that he's getting something in some place, but I'm getting a bit concerned. Yeah, it was around here where it crashed, wasn't it? She still hasn't shown up. It's almost 11 o'clock. The officers are completely exhausted. They had even started to smoke cigarettes outside. My friends are becoming tired too. Sudoku is yawning. It's way past our bedtime. Everyone else is getting tired and sleepy. We're both spending our time watching TV and reading manga. I can feel my fears succumbing to sleepiness. Don't succumb to sleepiness or it's game over, Rika. But anyway, let's conclude this part with a word of the day. But now, just in case it just randomly decides to crash again. Save first. It looks exactly the same, doesn't it? Alright, I need to turn the light on. I can't see shit. It's only freaking... Well, to be fair, my curtain's closed there, so maybe... Nah, even with that, it's still darkish. Darkish, grey, white skies, you know. And you can tell it's autumn now, because it's not even 5 PM yet, and it's already getting a bit dark. Let's find a word. Yeah, we don't have no assassins in here. I think I looked for that word at one point in one of the previous parts, didn't I? And couldn't find it, so I don't even know why I even bothered trying back again. What word could fit this part? Could failure be in here? Well, there is actually. Oh wait, yeah, fail is in here. Fail. Let me see here. Shipai-suru, is that what it is? And failure is just shipai. That is pa, right? Or is it ba? I think that's pa. Let me just double check in the... Yeah. Yeah, that is. So fail, shipai, suru. Failure is just shipai. Maybe not quite pronounced that way. Maybe shipai. Shipai. It's basically she, but then it's got that little su, you know, character, but like a little version that indicates like some kind of pronunciation difference. I'm not sure if it indicates like the length is like of the pronunciation goes out a little longer, maybe, I forget. And then it's got pa and then e. You know what, let's also see if we can find another word of the day while we're at it. An additional word, because that fits the failure of the novel crashing, but we gotta have a word fitting the events that happened. Ow. You know what, that'd be one. I mean, it's not really fitting what happens, but you know, in tribute of Ooishi and Kumagai getting killed, let's look for a detective. I mean, seriously, that was pretty bleak, wasn't it? I mean, really, that's Higurashi in a nutshell. It's bleak. It starts out all fun and games, and then it just gets like, it's just like death, misery, and all kinds of shit. Detective Tante, or Tantei. So, yeah, that's that. And with that, I shall see you next time, viewers. See you next time.